Good morning, everyone.
Before we start our session, I would like to express my gratitude to all of you as joining us today. We are hosting a live session today on green buildings. So, my name is Emil Sabu. I'm a passionate environmentalist and a project intern at Sustaina Greens. Also, in the audience, we have Dr. Meenakshi Singh, who is the founder and managing director of Sustaina Greens, a green tech consultancy that offers innovative solutions for a sustainable future. In today's live session, we are pleased to welcome Professor Ajit Seshadri. Professor Ajit Seshadri is an experienced faculty of marine engineering, a professor of practice at Wells University, Chennai. With 10 years experience of conducting technical projects at IIT Delhi and more than 20 years of teaching experience in marine field. He is also the founder and member of the Vikan Vijay Foundation Delhi, which is an NGO working to its mission for improving the quality of life, especially for the economically backward communities. He has implemented more than 150 projects under the field sustainable development, water resource management, renewable energy, nature based solutions, etc. He also has 28 years of experience in Seacoin and a member of Member Institute of Engineers. I assure all the viewers that you will receive an innovative, insight, provoking conversation throughout this session. So, for the audience, if you have multiple questions, please be sure to write down because we will do our best to address them in the last 20 minutes of our session. Professor Ajit Seshadri,
Good
sir.
morning.
A very warm welcome to you. Would you like to?
Yeah, okay, no problem. I only will say that it will be a very a cordial one-to-one session, and we will try our level best to see whatever is my strengths which I've gained over a period of so many projects. I would like to give it out to you,
Okay,
and you please feel
okay,
free
sir.
of asking practical doubts because more than knowing the theory part, I've literally implemented all of them at the grassroots level. Okay,
Okay,
so
sir.
the first one we would
Okay,
be
sir.
starting up with is with see now we are talking about green practices
Yes.
in communities. Now, first I'll give you a
Yes,
background.
sir.
First I'll give you a background on
Okay.
green practices. I think
Okay, sir.
uh, Emil will be able to explain. And also we'll be going
Yes.
on the basics of around 6, 7, 8 questions, and we will try to answer them
Okay.
and giving the details. Emil, to you, please.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. So we will continue with our session. So let us start with the fundamentals for everyone who is watching and who is unfamiliar with this sector, and also for the who are professional. So the question is that for developing a green cluster, how can we classify the spaces into various aspects of living and how many types it can be?
Okay. It's a nice question to start with because
Okay, sir.
before you start off doing anything on green practices, you should know what are the communities going to be there in the habitat in the space. Now I will take it up
Yeah.
in a very simple way so that everyone will be able to understand. We all know that we have got poor communities, very poor communities, migrant community, below poverty line communities, slum communities. So now these are living on conditions which are very poor, which are very poor. So we talk starting from that community. So we'll take that as the start. Then we'll go right up to the elitist, right up to the elitist. Elitist means, I would say that, let's say, let's say the Tata Birla type, or the famous politicians, or those who are very well to do, and they are staying in separate homes or a villa with plenty of green spaces. And I would put also certain facilities which some of the elitist homes enjoy. Now, we all know that most elitist homes enjoy many cars, and they have, you can say, fleet of cars, and each family maybe only say about 10, or maybe maximum 10, 10 to 15, but they will be having more than 15 cars. I would put one of the most elitist type of community which we can feel is from the place where Emil is coming, Kochi. Kochi is a place where
Yes.
you have villas and resorts. On the front of the villa, on the front of the elite homes, you have you have road, you have cars, you have car parks, and at the back of the villa, at the back of the villa, that's the most interesting part. The back of the villa,
Yes,
you
sir.
have a stream. You have a stream,
Yes, of
and
course.
you have boats parked. You have boats parked. I mean, most of us will be very difficult to even imagine this condition. Just imagine you were staying in a home with good facilities, having cars, and also a boat at the back, so that if you got to go, let's say, to a village marketplace for a shopping, or any other place for visit to any other friend's place, we will not use the urban road. We will not get congested, or we will not get blocked
Yes,
by traffic. We got a stream. We get our own stream,
yes,
and we go on the boat, and you just imagine the pure, pristine, pure, totally free from pollution, that type of environment. So that is the elitist. We have these homes also in Goa, both North Goa and South Goa. We have in the eastern sector, we have in Bangla, uh, we have in Assam, and many other places. Wherever we have streams, wherever we have waterways, all these elitist homes, they use elitist homes. They use all these boats, and they don't rely only on urban, say, cars, or say road transport. Okay, now I will
okay,
just tell you
okay,
basically what happens. Uh,
okay,
okay, so in these slum pockets, the water is very restricted. Each home, they do not get more than 10 liters GPCD. GPCD is 10 liters per person per day. Whereas in the elitist homes, they are blessed with a lot of water, and they get
okay,
something like unlimited, 150, 200 liters
yes,
of water. So that is the level we are talking about.
okay.
And
That's a characterization, basic level of characterization.
characterization of the environment. So if I'm
Okay,
going to if I'm going to talk to you about 10 liters, or say 5 to 10 liters available per person per day, and I'm going to talk to you on 200 liters per person per day in the elitist homes. So then we can imagine what is the comparison between 5 and 200. And also, this also will relate to the air quality, waste and waste says consolidation in various areas, and also greens. There'll be short of greens also, whereas the elitist homes, you have plenty of greens, and those greens are very ideal. So they also add the environmental factors for various spaces. I think email is telling me that time is getting up for my first question.
yes,
So I think she will shoot out the
yes,
second
sir.
question.
Okay, sir. So we can move to the second question. As we know, we now characterize the spaces based on the characterization correct performance index.
Okay. Now you are getting into more about details of environmental science, environmental management, and details. So we talk about specifically that everywhere there's a yardstick. Suppose you have a space, we put a yardstick to say that the environmental performance index is X, and then we put for another space the environmental performance index is Y. So then we start comparing X and Y. Now, what are these factors? What are these factors? So we have mainly two basic characters for environment. One is what are the parameters or what are the features which directly relate with health, health of, let's say, humans, of animals, on other aquatic beings which are there, or any other beings which are there in the spaces. Then also on the environmental vitality. Environmental vitality would mean what supports what supports the environment. I can give you some say basic things on this environmental health. So first is the air quality. Now, in this air quality, we all of us know about air quality is very important, and
Yes.
places like northern India, after the crop, uh, most people have suffered. Most people have suffered, or even now the conditions are not so good. They are still suffering with dust pollution and agricultural crop burning, pollution, and the air quality precisely, the the SPM content. SPM comes in two categories. One is 2.5 ppm, another is 10 ppm. But both 2.5 and 10 ppm, they are so drastically poor that you will find that the air quality which should be within 100, the air quality ppm which should be within 100 or more than 400. There are times in NCR region, National Capital Region, where schools have declared holiday. So schools have closed down and not allowing children to move out of homes. And in homes, there are lots of funny required gadgets like air purifier, air refreshener, aerators, and so many others, which others will find it very difficult to comprehend. That means you're taking the air, you are having filters very precisely
Yes.
to filter all the particulate matter and supplying air. And so well, imagine that in a few years from now, in certain places, you will be walking around with, of course, you walk around with water bottle in your good water you carry in your backpack, or in your briefcase, or in your laptop bag. So water you are carrying. Sometimes you are carrying food also in your bag. So you are now next you will start carrying. You are carrying mask. You are carrying mask to protect your say breathing. Now next you will be carrying literally
Yes.
something like a breathing air or a breathing oxygen, so that you are able to do your activities, without any affectation. Otherwise, all your lungs factor, all this factor will become. So you have this, and first is air quality. Next you have water, good water. So water also should be good. Water meaning good
Okay.
means, I will only say, whenever I get into any communities for I'm giving awareness on water and water quality. I will tell them in short forms. Short forms. That is something like we have. Code word we can call it as CATS. CATS. I don't know whether I've explained this to you before. CATS. First C stands for clean and clear
Okay.
water. Next one is A. A is the water should be alkaline. The water should be alkaline, and alkaline means it should be slightly alkaline, because your body tends to make everything acidic. So you have to have water. When you take in water, it should be within 7.5. 7 is neutral, you have 7.5. So that is alkaline. Next is taste. Taste is I don't know whether how many of you have tasted distilled water. Distilled water, state of is battery water. Battery water, sometimes in emergency, if you taste, it does not really taste. The taste in water comes uh, because of you have taste you have because of salts and any other things which are there in the water. So it should be something which is likable to humans. So that is the taste and the aroma of the water. That is coming tea taste. And the last one is sterile. Sterile is a very important word, that it should be both virus and bacteria free. There should be no
Okay.
coliform, there should be no affectation of water, and it should be totally germ free and bacteria free. So CATS. So anytime you want to remember on how good the water should be, you can remember these four words and keep building up from CATS. Okay, next is
Okay.
uh, I think we're getting a time limit up. Is it?
Yes, sir. Can we
Okay,
move
next
on
is
to
wait.
next
I'll
question?
cut short. I'll cut short. I'll cut short. Next is
Okay, sir.
the sanitation. The sanitation should be healthy and it should be good. I mean, a good amount of healthy and hygienic sanitation should be provided. And now we are also particular in having good sanitation, even to do water harvesting. The first thing what the government did for water harvesting is to make sure that they made the total area open defecation free. So they don't want any spaces with defecation. I mean, that means the defecation, all the refuses, all the matter lying on the ground will spoil the water, and you won't be able to do proper rainwater harvesting. So that is water. Next is waste.
Okay.
Waste is very important. Solid waste is most important, and nowadays we are giving a lot of emphasis for waste, and that means waste has to be segregated. So we have the green path, that is the most important path. Green path is totally recoverable and it gets into composting line, it goes into bio and reused as a resource. And then you have recyclables. We have plastics, glass, metals, all that can be reused. And the worst part is the single-use plastics, which you just throw away.
Right.
We try to make sure that single-use plastics are as much as possible reduced. So whenever we go for any shopping, we should take a Jola bag. We should take a sling bag with you and take all your goods, whatever
Okay.
you're buying from the shop, and bring it back home. Or even to the extent that whatever wrappers and whatever envelopes and whatever covers which the shopkeeper gives you, you can just nicely clean it up and go and give it back to him the next time, because every day or every second day or every third day you're going to the same shop. So you can give it back to him, and so that he can use those covers again. Okay, I think
Oh,
I talked to you about this environmental performance of a space. So you can go on to the next
okay.
question, please.
Okay, sir. So for the next question, the role of water building green clusters and how it is made available to the communities in different spaces within these clusters. We know the water is an inevitable factor. So how it is available to the communities?
Okay, water is actually is a commodity which is recoverable. As a matter of fact, the water in our main reserve is constant. Water is in our main reserve is constant. Only thing is the water quality is not constant. If you have good quality water, the good quality water becomes bad quality after one use. So how best
Oh,
can you bring back this bad quality water to good quality water or a better quality water or the best quality water. Okay, water. I'll tell you basically water we all get from nature, and we also have been studying in schools and colleges and many other water resources management. That there's a water cycle. Water cycle is whatever is there in the environment, it gets into vapor, and the vapor gets released and goes upwards to the sky, and wherever are the cool zones or wherever is the rain zones, we get a sufficient amount of rain and pure water that is with no salts, with no impurities. They come down from the sky. That is rainwater. That is the advantage of rainwater. Of course, people will say that the sky and the air environment is full of dust and many other polluted fumes and polluted vapors. But those are there. But then if they are not there, we get pure water from the rain. So we got water, the two types of water. One is the water which is on the surface. On the surface, we have a lot of water, and there is equal amount of reserve on subsurface. Subsurface means in groundwater, in aquifers. So in most of the urban areas, we had been very very lucky in certain urban areas to have good, say, replenishing or recharging of this aquifers. So water, rainwater, or any other water which is coming on the surface is getting cleaned up, and it is going to the aquifer, and it is stored in the aquifer, ready for you to use at any place at any time. So that is the most advantages as far as aquifers are concerned. Okay, I will tell you a story. It is a small story for urban people to be a little bit cautious about. Way back when we
Okay,
were
sir.
kids, maybe when I was a kid in the years 50s and 60s, just soon after, say, independence, and soon after the India became a, I mean, sovereign democratic republic, we had in Delhi region in the 60s, water was available at something like ground level. Water was available that if you dig about 5 to 10 feet, you will get water in the well. So that was the position in the 60s. That was the position of water at New Delhi in 60s, and the government and all the senior politicians, they became scared that there is so much of water just underneath them, just below the road. So they got scared, and you will not believe, uh, we had pumps. We had pumps put purposely in various, say, at a distance of something like 100 meters, 200 meters. They had put boring pumps, and they used to suck water from the aquifer and pump it out. How we know about it is, so when we were kids, around say 10-year-old, 15-year-old, we were playing with all this water. So this was a position at New Delhi in year 60s, and now let us say 60s to now, we have gone something like 60 70 years. In the 60 70 years, the water level from ground has gone right up to 100 meters down. That means 300 feet it has gone down, especially in Gurgaon, or in, say, Dwarka, or in some other agricultural belts, even in Delhi, you won't get water even you dig up to 200 feet. You have to go still lower down. That means, you can well imagine. That means from this upper level, this ground level, to 200 feet, this full 200 feet of ground has gone totally without water, totally gone without water. This had all water. Now this water is gone. Once the water is gone, this ground has become totally dry. And this ground becoming
Oh,
dry is having another concern. This ground becoming dry is having another concern because Delhi and Delhi region comes in the seismic zone. And you will not believe that suppose you have an earthquake coming from down. This is the top portion of this is the top level of level of earth. This is the ground level. This is what I'm pointing to is the ground level, and this is the subsoil level, 200 feet, 60 meters or 100 meters. And suppose you have an earthquake coming from within the earth, say about 1,000 meters, 1,000 meters from ground, the earthquake is coming. And seismic zone, the NCR is there in the seismic zone. So when an earthquake comes, all whatever is there on the surface, all the buildings, whatever is there in the surface, will get affected. If the sponge is not there, see this water in the subsoil, it supports biodiversity. It has got greens. It has got so many other things inside. A total ecosystem is there in this uh, in this aquifer zone. This aquifer zone is like a sponge. The sponge is totally gone. That means in your 50, 60, 70, 80 years from this zero feet below ground level to 100 meters ground level, the total this band of soil has become totally dry. So this is becoming totally dry. That means it's like a rock. That means any earthquake strikes, it will get affected. So just you can well imagine what will happen to multi-rise buildings. You have you have 20 floors, 30 floors, 40 floors buildings, and all these buildings are there in the national capital region. So I'm not scaring, but what I'm saying is that means there has to be caution, and we have to make sure that good water harvesting is done, and we are able to conserve water, even to the extent if we can get a slightly polluted wastewater, they should be cleaned up. They should be fairly cleaned up and taken to ground, and this ground from ground level to 100 meters below ground level, in wherever is the seismic zone, wherever is the urban zone, we should make sure that they are all properly, filled up with well sufficient with water and biodiversity. So this is very important thing to watch out for. And you will, like this, you have many other urban areas where we have the concern, the reserve. That means it is the groundwater aquifer is like a savings bank account. You keep on withdrawing all the money from your savings bank account, and you put your card, the card will bounce. So just in the same way, you have there is no water, and you are trying your level best to take water, go up 100 meters below ground level, then you go to 200 meters below ground level. When you go 200 meters below ground level, lot of energy use is there, and lot of salt water. I mean, the water which is there in those levels are very salty and very, you can say, full of salt. They are not good water.
Okay.
So I think, can we go to the next question? Okay. Yeah.
Okay. How does the implementation of nature-based solution contribute to the greening of spaces within a cluster, and how this solution can be tailored to different types of spaces?
Very good, very good. Now, see, I will tell you the waste management of any space is most important. First and foremost thing is, I will say waste management directly relates with segregation. Directly relates with segregation. Now, in most of the good homes or a good communities, we have a green bin, we have a blue bin, we have a red bin, and over and above that, we have orange bin for any sanitary waste or a hospital waste. And we have another type of bin in which we have e-waste and say clothing waste. So that means you can well imagine, as you go for your shopping, and you go to a clothing shop, you go to a food shop, you go to a water shop. Just in the same way, when you get into a waste management, we go into a waste management and look for bio waste. So bio waste without any looking. Now the conservancy workers or the waste handlers, they are very, very clear. They are very, very clear. They will take it nicely, bio waste. They will take bio waste and put it into the composting path. So composting path means you said away that the composting people are more specialists. They will take care of composting, either doing a natural pit method, or they will go for, let's say, you have a biomethanation of producing any biogas, or they may go for vermicomposting. And vermicomposting also is very, very, say, lucrative. You will not believe there are some communities which are fishermen community. They're poor men, they are fishermen community, and in lakes and ponds, you have a lot of fish. The fish is very difficult to catch. But if you put the same worms nicely put as a fish bait in a net, you can catch a lot of fish. That means with one worm, he's able to get kilos of fish on the day. So this is how communities make sure that the waste also pays for remuneration, and it is totally sustainable, totally sustainable. And of course, you have got the kabadi wala, the recyclables, in which you have the paper waste nicely going to paper waste, and going for paper industries and pulp industries and other industries, and being converted very, very soon into paper and used as finished paper. And then you have, let's say, plastics. Plastics are the most say difficult things to worry about. And most importantly, the single use plastics, they are the most difficult to handle, because most of the times we use single use plastics and throw, and it gets just get into the environment, and it stays, and it does not come back anywhere. It just stays in the environment. It goes to the landfill, and it creates more and more problem in the landfill. So but now so many communities and so many universities are assisting in converting single use plastics. We have single use plastics. Single-use plastics are converted into raw oil by process of pyrolysis. So they have pyrolysis.
Okay.
Yes, they can make impure oil, and from impure oil they do more say intricate selective distillation. So from say impure oil, you are getting something like 70% 70% purity oil. From that 70% purity oil, we can get 80%, 90% oil, and this oil percentage can be increased. And this oil is used in boilers to start with. Oilers are used in a lot of industries, and many other things. They have not come into use in internal combustion engines. Internal combustion engines require very, very precise oil, so that will be the real testing time. But other oils can be made use of, especially for your brick kiln and many others. You can use this type of say fuel, and very, very ideal. Now another very, very uh, difficult matter is fecal sludge and STP sludge. Now this also a lot of research and a lot of say R&D development work is going on, and they are using this fecal sludge as a fuel for a brick kiln. So they use this fuel for brick kiln, and whatever is the ash which is coming out, from the brick kiln fire, that ash is again mixed with clay and made like brick, cast in the brick, and we get to gather that whatever is the fecal sludge, whenever fecal sludge of even 10%, 20%, 30% fecal sludge is used as a raw material for making bricks. The insulation property of the brick is very good, and you find that In hot summers, those rooms remain cooler, and they're just like mud home, just like mud home. Because after all, the other term we use for fickle sludge, all I mean, sorry for me mentioning all the shit which is there in the open spaces. We call them actually as night soil. We call them actually as night soil. Night soil means is very very similar to soil. So we have got various other modes in which we can easily make sure that we come into a condition in which we'll have zero landfill. So this is what we are getting at. In water, we have got something like zero liquid discharge. That means no water, no wastewater is discharged from the campus. It is all used in the campus. In the same way, we got zero landfill, ZLF. So zero landfill means there is all the no there's no requirement of any landfill, and so we got all the waste being handled up in the community itself or in the spaces itself. I'll just give you a rough figure of how many kilos of waste do each person or each say family persons they give out. See, usually you have I've taken a value of data of around let's say 800 people staying in 200 homes in a gated community in of Chennai. To be precise, at Hiranandani apartments. So we got something like for 800 people, we have got 3,000 odd kilos in a month. That means about 4 kilos are going every day. 4 kilos are going every day. And then you got, let's say, reject material. Reject material is the least. We should always keep between zero point 0.5 kilo to 1 kilo. Zero point 0.5 kilo to 1 kilo. That is the reject. That is what is going into your landfill. This also is such that in case the matter is inert, the matter is not affecting any environment, it can go for landfilling, and it can be used as mud filling or as for foundation work and many other construction work. And then of course we got recyclable. Nearly around 3 kilos of recyclable is given away, that is in the form of newspaper waste, plastic waste, and many other waste. But that 3 kilo is recoverable. So this is a basic idea of this, and most importantly, one has to be very careful. One has to be very careful when you give out your waste, especially your sanitary waste and also medical waste. So now we have got in so many homes. There are during this COVID time, we had a lot of clinical waste coming out, and they had real problem. Our conservancy workers, they did excellent work. I hope we don't get into this scene again, but in case we get into this scene, we are more prepared how to deal with this thing. We had to take it separately in a separate path, keep it separate, and do separate segregation and also consolidation, and also dealing with it by incineration or any other method. So this is also a very difficult type of dealing with waste and waste handling. Yes, please. How are you? How are we placed on time? Am I audible? I think I am audible. Uh, sim, Imi, you are not audible. Not audible. Can you hear? Can you hear her? Can you hear? Can you hear my associate? Meenakshi ma'am, I think she asked a question. Yes, I am audible to you all people. What about my associate Emil? I think she is not audible. Can you hear? Okay, she would have asked a question because she has briefed me on the questions. She has asked me about question on greens. Okay, now greens are the most important feature. Greens are the most important feature of any space. Greens are the most important feature of any space. I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example. Suppose you're getting into a school or a college, your own college where you studied, or your own school where you studied. Suppose you get into the school and you find only buildings. You find only buildings. There are no trees and there are no plants and there are no potted plants. There are no flowers. How do you feel? How do you feel? Bad. But you get into a
Hello, sir.
now
Hello, sir.
now
Is it
you're very
audible?
clear. Now you're very clear.
Okay. Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Very good, very good. The question about greens. So suppose you're getting into a greens. Let's say some of the most green type of campuses or IITs All IITs are situated in such a way that they are blessed. They are blessed to have good greens, and they have good water resource, and mostly they have been carved out of spaces which would have been some type of a forest or an extended urban space where they would have had not much of habitation but lot of greens. So you will find most of the IITs are well carved out. Even IIMs are all carved out of a green belt, or carved out of green belt, and they have ample amount of greenery to keep the whole space cool. That means if you have the ambient temperature, urban ambient temperature of around, let's say, 30 degrees. The inside temperature will be cooler. Cooler, and you will have cool drafts, blowing around and keeping the whole campus cool and fresh. That fresh is also another important. When you have any air draft flowing, the air draft flushes the old stale air and keeps the air fresh and good. Another very good example is Delhi. So now Delhi is blessed with the southern part of Delhi, Lutyens Delhi, where you have all the government buildings. I'm not saying for the latest Parliament House or others new constructions, but I'm talking about old, let's say, North Block, South Block, main secretariat, and let's say Rashtrapati Bhavan, and the roads around it, Akbar Road, Aurangzeb Road, all the roads, uh, they are all situated in such a way that you will get surprised to see that if you walk in the middle of the road, it is totally having shade. The trees on both the sides of the road. The road itself is around 40 feet. 40 feet wide. You will find both the trees on both the sides of the road will come in such a way that it will be like a canopy. The canopy of the trees will touch, and you will find so cool. So most of us who have been in Delhi, I think a lot of participants may be there in North. They may be listening.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So they would know that instead of uh, instead of going on the ring road or going on the outer ring road, which is going to be blazing hot with no trees, nothing, you cut through, and you go through all these roads. Which the road the path may be slightly longer. But you will have a very very cool, say, school cool atmosphere, and Literally, the effect of summer is not summer is nicely felt, and you will enjoy. You will enjoy. And just imagine my because I used to remember my uncles and father. They were all government servants in Delhi, and they used to talk about in, let us say, 1950s and 60s up to 70s. They used to talk about staying in government colony in Delhi and using cycle to go to the government office, and every time they will use cycles, and they will have such a pleasured say drive of around, say, 5 to 10 to 15 kilometers, and they will not feel it, even in the evening time. It will not be blazing hot because they got all gardens, they got trees. So this is what is the trees. So we have got, let's say, outdoor trees. So in any college or any yes, please. Huh? You said something.
Yes, its time is
Okay, I just concluded in short.
can
Okay,
can
now
we
yeah, this conclude the full session, is it? So that you can have
yes, so some of the our audience have the question,
yeah,
so we
okay,
can
okay,
shoot up with
okay.
that.
No, no, and just give me 2 minutes. Just give me 2 minutes.
Okay, sir.
So we have
Okay.
we have we have in a college space. Very importantly, we have outdoor greens, which are well taken care of, and indoor greens. Indoor greens also should be there to take care of the terraces, the balconies, the open areas, and whenever any I'll just give it like a small gesture from the environmental community. Whenever you have any, let's say, cultural event or a college event, you should make sure that all the flowers and all the, say, wreath and all the garlands which you make for the chief guest and others should be done from the college flowers. And very importantly, you should have a team of bio enthusiasts. They should be marking, and whenever the garlands are finished, if the guests want to take the garlands away, they can take the garlands. But if it is just left, they should be taken straight away to the composting pit. And whenever you have any, let's say, gift away to be done, best is to give all herbal type of plants. You can give tulsi, you can give neem, you can give any other say plants, saplings to the guests, and they will feel related. And to make it more worthwhile, you give artistic and very nicely done flower pots, very nicely done flower pots. So that those flower pots, each of the executives, they can keep on their own desk. When you have your desk, when you have your say computer, in front of the computer, side of the computer, you can keep some of the orchid plants, a rose plant or a jasmine plant, and some good tulsi, and many others they can be cultivated. They can be cultivated to have with the tea. They can have tulsi leaves. So that is one thing you can start. Yes, now we can go for questions. I hope I
Yes,
won't
sir.
I won't be blasted away with questions.
No, sir. So, for from the audience side, we have a question that what eco-friendly practices we can implement in green buildings to make them more energy efficient and cool?
Okay, energy efficient. Energy efficient. Most importantly is the energy guzzling devices. Now, the energy guzzling devices are the most importantly AC. So when you have AC, the maximum amount of energy consumption. So if we can use less say the temperature can be more moderate. So all that is required to be done is most of the time in common places. Most of the time in common places, even some of the homes, they put the AC on, they use blanket and go to sleep. No, it is not on. See, your body temperature, everyone knows, is about a 35 degree, 36 degree centigrade, or 98.4, 98.5 degree Fahrenheit. So if you have temperatures around 26, 27, 28, That is ideal. That is ideal. But people like to have less than 24, less than 22. So each degree you're consuming you're consuming a kilowatt hour lot of units. Okay, then another one is you're wasting a lot of water. So how best can you conserve water? How best can you conserve water, or can you reuse water? The first way of reusing water is start in your offices and many common places, in your restrooms or in your washing dispensers in your hand. You dispense with soap. You straight away change over to bioenzyme. Bioenzyme is a soap made with organic fluids. So if you use an organic fluid for washing your hands, the full water, wastewater, effluent is fully organic. So that water, with just a little bit of phytoremediation, with a little bit of plants used for remediation, can go for further use. It can go for flushing, it can go for another recycling, it can go for irrigation. So a lot of uses of say this water can be done. So if you save this water, the more energy is also saved. Yes, please. Next question.
Okay. When we go through next question, what can be used in buildings or apartments that are already constructed?
Okay, okay, already constructed. Now see here,
Yes, sir.
another very important factor is ventilation. Now, if you already have a certain ventilation pattern, how best do you uh, size up, or how best do you source the actual ventilation being available AM PM? Especially now I am staying in Chennai. I am staying in Chennai, and very distinctly I see in the morning the breeze is blowing from land to sea, and in the daytime it is blowing from daytime or a little bit post noon time. It is blowing from the sea to land. So this to be made use of. How best you use it is by keeping your own, let's say, windows or your other openings properly done. Another thing which I saw, which I observed architecturally in the planning work, is in Rajasthan, in Gujarat, and many other areas. You will find when you get inside a home, when you get inside a home, all the rooms are connected. Connected in the sense that in the top of the room on one corner, or in two corners, the top of the room in two corners, something like 1 feet by 1 feet opening will be there. 1 feet by 1 feet opening will be there, and you won't find an opening full opening. It will be covered with lowers. It will be covered with lowers. You won't find that opening is there. So you can put either a wall hanging or a painting or something to cover that opening. But what happens when you have this opening on top of the room is all the rooms are connected, and all the rooms are connected to the pattern of outside wind blowing. Suppose north to south wind is blowing, or east to west the wind is blowing. But everyone should know and should be related with the wind. How the wind is flowing, how much is the wind flowing. One is the direction. Say you got a very distinctly southwest monsoon hitting Kerala in the
Yes,
month
sir.
of say the second week of June, or middle
Yes.
of June. Am I correct? I
Yes,
think
sir.
email me. Yeah. Okay, so that is coming from southwest. Now it is coming from southwest and hitting Kerala coast. In the same way, in northeasterly blast you get on the eastern coast of India. That means the whole of Orissa coast, Andhra coast, India, say South Indian coast, Tamil Nadu coast will get hit by northeast. So this northeasterly wind, the southwesterly wind, all you should keep a note. All you should keep a note, and make the best use of it. Make the best use of it. Sometimes Funnily, when you have an exhaust fan working in your kitchen, you will find the exhaust fan making a lot of noise. Actually, it is not pulling out the air from inside the kitchen to outside. Actually, it is getting a reverse flow. It is getting a reverse flow, so the exhaust fan is trying to rotate in a different way, and it is not pushing out. It is actually pulling in. So these type of occurrences you should stop, and you should know in general the directional wind, how the directional wind flows, how your rainfall gets affected, and how best you have even the movement of sun. For example, sun is very popular, very prominent in the northern hemisphere in the month of say March, April, June, July, and sun is going into the southern hemisphere. So in winter months, you get different zones having sun. In summer months, you have different zones having sun. So most importantly, the south facing in India and the whole of India, the south facing face of any flat, the south facing face of any house will get the maximum amount of sunshine. Maximum amount of sunshine. And in summer, that so much blast is not there. But in winter, you'll get the complete blast due to the south facing. Yes, please.
Okay.
Next. I hope
Okay, sir.
with this.
I think we can conclude our session
Okay.
with these questions. So, I believe our session is almost over. So, I will have to cease conducting the questions at this time. I think it was joy to speak with you. And on behalf of Sustina Green's team and audience, I want to thank you for taking the time to share your knowledge with us all. Thank you, sir. Without
Thanks a
you,
lot.
all this session would have been possible. And we promise that with the upcoming month, we will bring you some amazing sessions as well. To learn about forthcoming sessions, be sure to subscribe to our channel. And I hope all have a fantastic weekend. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Okay,
Bye.
one small word from me. Uh, uh,
Okay, sir.
please, please feel free. Please feel free. I am open, and Sustaina is also open by email or any other way. You can raise your questions, and be satisfied that all doubts are cleared. So usually in the end of the session, the professor or the lecturer will ask any doubts, and we feel that no doubts. That should be the answer. So I hope we stay with this in the best of way. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thanks. Over and out.